So, welcome to the newest episode of Cybercast. This is a cybersecurity podcast, sir, and I feel very grateful to have you as the guest of the episode. And your work in the domain is really appreciable. I have researched a lot about you, and I also came to know that you were also a part of MTV Troll Police program. So, what was that program all about? Can you just give us a small insight on that?
Okay, so firstly, thank you so much for having me on this platform, and I really apologize that you have been following up, but it completely skipped out of the mind. And so, MTV Troll Police, was a beautiful was a beautiful show. It's still there on Woot. I mean, you must go and watch it. And it came. It used to come on NTV channel. It came. There were like around about 13 episodes, and it was all about MTV Troll Police was all about exposing the trolls. So these were the trolls. So when the production company approached me, they said, "Look, Ritesh, we want you to help us identify the people who are anonymously targeting the celebrities." So, so my job was in that case, like I would meet the celebrities. They would tell me that these are the people who are harassing me and all that. I would go through their thing. The production company would also do the research, and then we would see, okay, who all are these people, and so, for each celebrity, whether it was Tapsi or it was Anurag or, there were so many. Hardeep Kaur, I forgot her name, the
I think,
singer.
sir, I think I have watched some of that episode because I remember the names that you are talking about and the same background story they used to have. I think I
Yes.
have watched it.
Yeah. So whether it was Tapsi, Anurag, or so many other people. So when I would see that the kind of language these people were using, it was like really pathetic. And for a moment, I thought, this could be like earlier, I thought it could be a rigged program. Like they would say, okay, we would have some actors whom you have to just pretend and all, but no, it was not like that. So it became very challenging, like, to investigate. So it was just not investigating because these were anonymous. We don't know them. Their profile is not listed anywhere. They are not like it's not a public profile. So there is where I use the most important technique, that is social engineering. So I use a lot of my social engineering. I would become friends with these people, talk to them, chat, then bring them to that a level that then you saw in the end. They were on the stage and they didn't even know. I wouldn't say it's a stage, it was the studios. Sometimes it was a studio, sometimes it was a coffee shop, sometimes it was a restaurant. They came over there and they didn't even know what was happening until that celebrity. Like I remember, MTV production team had set up a complete a radio station in one of the places. So the guy didn't even come to know, okay, like this is something else. He really felt, okay, this is like a radio station only. He waited over there, and then like Malishka comes in, and then she reads out all the messages that he would send her. And then he would suddenly think, what is this actually happening? And so my work was till there to get him till Bombay, to get him till the studio.
What you
So,
are best at, actually.
well, cannot say that. There's always somebody better than the best. So, so yeah. So this was something that was all about MTV Troll Police. It was a great experience. The idea was like also to tell people that something that I completely believe in, that there is nothing like anonymity on the internet. We just try to remain anonymous, but someday or the other, you because you don't eat in the cyberspace. You can order from the cyberspace, but you don't eat in the cyberspace. You are back onto earth. You are there in your room. You have a table. You're somewhere on the earth. So
It's
you are a person. You are a human who can be caught.
anonymity is actually a myth. There is nothing like that.
I would say like the three things, that is trust, anonymity, and privacy. These three things are actually a myth.
You just coined the word privacy. So privacy earlier used to be your ATM pin or your net banking password or some of your very sensitive credentials. But nowadays, privacy has got a more wider explanation, a more wider discrimination. So, how do you see privacy in today's era?
So I would say like actually there is no privacy left. Nowhere the privacy is left, not even in your bedroom. Because I'm sure in your bedroom, let's assume you have something smart. Could be Alexa, could be a smart TV. You have something to it, and they are listening to you. Privacy means what? That when you are alone changing your clothes, no one is watching you. When you're all alone meditating, also nobody is hearing you. Okay, so and privacy would be also that when there are two people talking, the third one shouldn't be like जब हम छोटे थे तो how would we tell mom, please just leave us alone, we are talking, two friends are talking, please don't interrupt, right? It's something secret that we are talking. So that was like kind of privacy. But now today, even there are not two, there are three people. So this is like that bagpiper ka ad of Dharmender, मिल बैठेंगे तीन यार, आप मैं और bagpiper. तो अभी ऐसा हो गया है, सुनेंगे तीन जने, मैं आप और Alexa, मैं आप और स्मार्ट टीवी. So somewhere or the other, something is there listening to you all the time. Out in the public places, somebody is watching you all the time. Now you will say, okay, look, I don't have Alexa in my bedroom. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. But don't you have a phone in your bedroom? I mean, when you go off, like you are not switching it off completely. Even today, if you go onto your particular phone and open the permission manager, and then look at something called as a microphone, you will see at least 30 of your apps. You might be having 70, 80 apps on your mobile phone. 30 of your apps are having access to the microphone permission. So those 30 apps are listening to you. So that's why I said trust, anonymity, and privacy. These are a myth. Somebody right now, you and I are talking. This is a Zoom, this thing. While I'm talking to you, this is also getting recorded. You think it's recording on your computer? No, it's also getting recorded on the cloud. Whatever you and I are talking. I mean, let's start on the Zoom itself. Let's start discussing about which SUV to buy. Should it be a Tata? Should I go for electric vehicle or not? Very soon, let's in just another like 15 minutes or so, you will start seeing ads on your Insta or on Facebook related to this. You have not searched also. So there is no question of cookies and history and other kind of thing. You're talking, somebody's listening, and somebody's picking up those keywords and then selling it off.
So, in order, we cannot run away from these things. We cannot stop using certain apps. Uh, like if I have installed Urban Company for my household services, if I have installed, everybody have WhatsApp and Instagram. We cannot stop using that. And these are the apps which have access to our cameras, our contacts, and our microphones directly. So, we cannot, as I said, that we cannot run away completely. Are there any steps that we can take to prevent the loss that we are already making?
You use the word prevent. I will say prevent doesn't matter. You have to come up with another word. And you will tell me this another word after I'll give you an example. Do you think you can be in a position where you will never die? You will be, right? You are going to die someday, correct?
Yes, yeah, correctly. Someday I'm not
Correct.
immortal.
So
Mhm.
what can you do to prevent death? Is it possible?
No, sir.
No. So what else can you do in that case? No. So I am saying if you cannot avoid death, which means you want to live longer. Correct?
Correct.
And in order to live longer, what can you do? Stay healthy,
So, yeah,
run,
eating good foods, having meditation,
eating good food,
yoga, doing gym.
meditation, yoga, stress-free life, among so many things, right? Okay, having lesser girlfriends so that they don't bother you again and again.
I was
Okay, so
relating it to something cyber security. How can I connect
no,
it to
no, no.
cyber security?
General life. So the thing is, you cannot avoid a death. So the same way you cannot avoid this kind of a hack. But what you can do is you can minimize the impact. The way with your life, you can increase your longevity The same way, you cannot avoid this completely, but you can minimize it. So the key is minimizing. So now you're saying the urban clap is there, the urban company. There's some, let's an XYZ company is there, and it has access to your location and permissions. Now, if you're using Uber, do you have to give them access to your location?
Yes. Obviously, they work
No,
on our location.
no, no. So see, so now if I open the Uber app will say, please grant location. I will deny it.
Yeah, we
Then
have an
he'll
option to
say,
deny it.
yeah, you have an option. So do you think I can't do a booking? I can, of course, do a booking if I can say, because I can type my pickup point is this and my drop off point is this. So I'm not giving him the access to my location. So in that case, Uber cannot track me because
Yeah,
I
in
could
that
be
case.
booking this for anybody else also. So the key is we think it in this particular fashion that no, we have to give this because it's something to do with travel, it's something to do with directions, it's something to do with roads. No, I need not keep it all the time the location on it. In fact, in Zomato or these food delivery apps, they would say access to your location so that we can give you a pinpoint thing. Thanks, I'm not that dumb. I have been living in my house for so many number of years. So I know what is my building address. I don't have to share my location with you for you to know where I am. You only and only need my flat number, my building name. That's it. Where I am at that point of time or while I'm ordering, you don't need to do that. I could be sitting in my office and getting some food delivered for my mom at home, which doesn't mean that I need to switch on my location. I just need to tell, look, you need to drop here. So you don't need my location. So what I am coming to is when you are saying what can we do for privacy, what you can do for privacy is you can prevent. I'm not going to give you a GAN, don't post pictures, don't post that and all that. No. The main thing, this smartphone, which is actually making us dumb, I mean, so much dumb that even if we want an OTP, it wants access to your SMS. Why? So that it can autofill. So we are becoming lazy. Our brains are reducing that we can't even remember a 6-digit number. There was a time when we could remember 10 people's mobile phone numbers also. Now we can't do that. So look at the cyber impact that we are having. That's a psychological impact that we are having. The brain is diminishing. It is very earlier, if I had to tell you, okay, 157 plus 633, you could have calculated like it in seconds. Okay, now to get those two figures also together, it's so much of a pressure on your brain because everything is on your fingertips. So, what we need to understand is that look, you know, go onto your phone, go onto the permission manager in the settings and start revoking access. The moment I see this guy has got access to my microphone, I remove it. Like, okay, I'm okay that WhatsApp has it because, I have a habit of leaving the voice notes. So I know it has access, which also means that I'm aware that Meta company, anyway, it's known for, watching you all the time.
Yes.
It is watching you, it is hearing you, is doing everything. So this is something I would say, like, this is something that we can do.
To
I don't want
minimize
to
the
give you that
impact.
and don't put that information. I mean, I can't say that because then in that case I don't practice what I preach. You just told me that you saw me traveling here and there and all those kind of things. I've been traveling, I put up those pictures.
So this was all about, you talked about minimizing the impact. So if I talk about the darker side, we as a users, the company collecting our data in form of images, in form of locations, in form of microphone data. So how that data can be processed and how that data can be dangerous for us, in what way?
So so what happens whenever the data can be nahi hai. The data is already being processed. The data has already been taken. So there are several ways wherein this data can be or is being used as well as misused. Now it depends upon the type of the data. There is something that is called as a non-personal data. Okay, there's something that's which are like a very, very personal data. Non-personal data could be anything. Maybe I'm just searching for something like, but a personal data could be my information about, let's say, my date of birth, my mobile number. That's my personal data. You can't call it as a non-personal data. Then there is something called as a sensitive personal data, which means my orientation, my sexual orientation, my religious beliefs, my political beliefs. But everyone wants to know. Now, if you have to come onto my status, you will see that I bash the government a lot. I mean, in the sense, I put on my status that, look, this was not something nice. Or I would say, this is something nice. Not that I'm inclined towards a particular political party, but when I see the government not doing something right, I try to bring it on Twitter or on my status so that I can spread the message. Now, somebody looking at my WhatsApp status as on date can clearly say, okay, this guy doesn't look like he's going to vote for BJP or has ever voted for BJP. Sorry, twice earlier I voted for them. The third time, whether I will do or not, that I'm not going to disclose. But as of now, anybody will make that impression. Okay. So now this data becomes important. Why, this guy looks, he's confusing us. We don't know whether he's going to vote for us, not vote for us. He likes us, or he doesn't like us. Right now, yes, I don't like there are certain of the things that you do. So I put it up on my status. So the same way, when when on Facebook or on Instagram, what kind of person you're following or liking, or or I would say, especially on Twitter, what are you retweeting? If I am retweeting certain things which shows, and those tweets are against the government, or talking about, okay, the government shouldn't have done this, that will kind of give me a label as, okay, he's an anti-government fellow, right? If they will see, okay, I am retweeting everything that the prime minister tweets, that the home minister tweets, they will think, okay, I'm a pro this thing. So they
Yeah.
will put me in that container. So now this information is very crucial to the political people over there in the country, because they need to fight elections. So I'm saying it becomes so important, right from the MLA to the MP to the government in charge over there. Coming to, let's say, medical data. Now, what kind of medicines I'm ordering will also show what kind of health problems I'm having. With those kind of health problems, what are the future problems I can have? Okay, is something that the marketing companies will start pitching to me. Now, let's say, for example, they will say, okay, this guy orders a lots of burgers or pizzas. I'm saying from the food delivery apps. Okay, the food delivery app will make a profile of me, that this guy, not just on the weekend, even on the weekdays, even at odd hours, he's ordering so much. Okay, so he eats out. If he's eating out, he's not eating healthy घर का खाना, माँ के हाथ का खाना नहीं खा रहा है. Okay, then they will say, what is he eating? Oh, he's eating only nachos, pizzas, and burgers, and are very, very bad. Now, what is his age? Oh, his age is like 35 years. Oh my God, this is so dangerous for somebody who's 35 years. Okay, does this guy smoke? Does this guy drink? All these information they find out. Somewhere they will come to know, okay, he's also weighing so much. So, which means what? इसको diabetes है या होने के chances ज़्यादा है. Suppose now with my another app, it comes to know that, okay, he's always ordering these tablets. What are these tablets used for? Let's say those tablets are used for diabetes. Now, this information about those tablets being ordered for diabetes, including insulin, and this information कि बॉस ये बहुत अनहेल्दी खाता है इन स्पाइट ऑफ बीइंग डायबिटिक, मतलब ये मरने जल्दी वाला है, तो इसका भैया प्रीमियम तो ज्यादा होना चाहिए. Now, isn't this information very useful to the people who would want to market to me?
It is a very
Then,
mind-blowing example, sir, really.
yeah. No, secondly, you look at it. Now, this information will also be very, very important for a pharmaceutical company who would then approach me. Listen, do you want an insulin pump? It will just put it up over here, and according only if your like sugar goes high, automatically it will infuse the insulin into your pancreas and all. Just imagine who the hell has told you that I have got diabetes or whatever. But the apps have told that this is the guy, this is your target. So, so this is everything that you put online. You can actually go and profile people, and you can start labeling them in respect of their political beliefs, labeling them for religious beliefs. For example, if you have to go online and see anything of mine, you will not even see anything related to God. So, which means I can be labeled as an atheist, right? So, or if they see my WhatsApp status, and on Mondays, if you'll see many people put Om Namah Shivaya or Shivaji or Shiv Bhagwan ka status on WhatsApp. You will not see that on mine. So chances are, okay, this guy could be an atheist. Then they'll say Janmashtami pe bhi Jai Shri Krishna ne likha hai. He could be an atheist. So the data is valuable for anyone and everyone. It all depends how am I going to use it. It's all about uh, you know, the guy coming up with an idea. Now, let me give you an example about a data breach. What is a data breach? There is a company. Let's take example of LinkedIn. We all know what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is there. Its data got breached. Breached means what? My name, my email ID, and the password to log into LinkedIn got breached. Now you will say, इसमें क्या हुआ? Now, how will they label you in this? With my name, they can only label me as an Indian. Okay? They can't label me as anything else. They can't say I'm a Mumbaiker or I'm from Delhi, I'm educated, I'm uneducated, whatever it is. They can't. Okay? They can have my email ID and they can have my password. That's all. How can they sell this data? What can this be misused? This data breach of LinkedIn, in fact, got the maximum money. And how? I'll tell you. They got an email of thousands of people. To all those thousands of people, they sent an email. And in the subject line, it was their password. The password was of LinkedIn. So this happened many years back. And those years, what we used to do, have one password for everything. We still do that, but that time it was all the more popular, People were really not so aware. Everybody started, how the hell this guy knows my password? So they would read the mail. What would be written in the email? Hi, you may be wondering how we know that your password is so and so. Let me tell you, we have installed a malware on your device. We are able now to switch on your webcam. And when you were watching pornography and when you were doing something, we captured that. We also saw you entering your details onto net banking, so we also have access to your accounts. Now, that one password scared the shit out of everybody, right?
Right.
So many calls. I had so many cases. Sir, we got this. There were industrialists, there were politicians, there were celebrities, there were students, everybody. But what was it? It was just one big database of your name, email, and password. And that hacker used his brains. Chalo, let me do this. And he started demanding $1,000. I know people who paid $500. I know people who paid $3,000 also. So I know how much money has gone. And those hackers made a lot of money. Till date, that data is being sold. So this is one example of what a data breach with so much less data also can do to you. Wouldn't you be scared like if you get a mail with your password over there?
I'll be
You
blowed
will
up, sir.
literally, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll be blowed up. Like, what exactly is happening?
Exactly. You would be blown up.
I
So
will. I
all
will
these,
thought that all of my accounts have been compromised with even a
yeah,
single
you
password.
might believe that. And that's exactly what these people believed. So just imagine. So this is what data breaches do to you. So here, even if you have taken care of, it is now also the responsibility of the company to protect my privacy. I'm trusting LinkedIn. It's a big platform. I'm trusting Domino's. Again, there was a data breach. I'm trusting some another third company. There again, there was a data breach. So it's your responsibility also. I will do whatever I can. But still, if something goes wrong, you need to be over there. And if something goes wrong with them, there also needs to be the government who can actually penalize such people, or kind of summon such people, that how did this happen? Didn't you follow security practices? There, so everything is more of a triangular approach, like a tripartite approach. You have all these three people responsible over here. So it's us, it's the intermediary or the platform, and also the government, to keep a watch. And that's exactly what happens in your bank. When you go into the bank, even you ask your mom will be having a locker key to go and, but that's just one key. The other key is with the banker. So the banker has to come with your mom inside. It's only when both of them will open, the locker will open, the banker will go away.
Correct.
So I am taking care of my key, but if something goes wrong, the bank is also taking care. But again, if something goes wrong with the bank also, they know that the RBI will now come into picture, and the RBI will now, jack them up. So this particular combination is extremely important in everything that we do.
This is the deepest insight I have ever got on data breaches. Really, I have read many journals, but I didn't, get this type of approach towards data breaches. You are also running organizations like CyberBop and V for Web. So, what is your actual objective through these two organizations, sir?
Okay, so if you see, we have three organizations. One is V4Web, which I started way back in 1998, and I got into like development of websites. Uh, so that was the time, like when I was developing, there were a lot of hacking happening, defacement, and many things were happening. So I got into investigations from then only. So I was developing. I wasn't developing then. I was more into solving problems of people. So, so from that, then I got married. My wife, my wife was already working in V4 Web, and we fell in love, and we got married. And then after a few years, the load of investigations was so much that she took over V4 Web, which is now into mobile application development, website development. Then I got into full-fledged cybersecurity and cybercrime investigations, data privacy, awareness. So these are the four key areas, and we started this company called as V for Web Cybersecurity. So that is what I head. And so generally, the work is to do a lot many investigations, forensics, and help companies secure. So we do a security at a very practical level. We don't want to go by the ISO 27001 or the NIST framework. We say, okay, what is that you want to secure? This is what you want to secure. Let's do that. What are your most important assets? And let's be practical. If you cannot change passwords every 3 months, fine. We don't have to. So we really don't. So we have to look at certain things and implement, because it needs to be user friendly. Security has to be user friendly. It cannot become something that's so inconvenient also. So we do that. Third is the organization Cyberbab. That's started by my wife, who's India's leading cyber psychologist, and she talks a lot about digital footprints. She talks a lot about the psychological impact of social media, and
Cyber
she's into,
psychology.
yeah, so she's India's leading and the foremost cyber psychologist. She's been a speaker at UN Women, UNICEF, and Meta group of company, Facebook, and all. A very prominent speaker also. Comes on several TV shows also, and TV channels. She was also part of MTV Troll Police, because counseling that person, and also the celebrity was important, because the celebrity would have, she relived all those moments, so they were also not in that shape. So there my wife used to help them, as well as the one who would troll, explaining like where you went wrong and now how to take care of it. So cyber BAP, which stands for cyber bullying awareness, action, and prevention. So here we try to create so this is again led by Nerali only. So this is where we tend to, like, talk about, please upstand, don't be a bystander. If somebody is being bullied, just 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 wake up and stop him over there. Don't have to fight. Just support. If somebody's troubling you, I would want to say, hey, don't worry, I'm there for you. So this way we want to say we are there for you. Give us a call. We will understand what is your concern, and then we guide them. So that way we get like tens of calls on a daily basis. We have a website, cyberbab.org, wherein they go, they lodge a complaint, we then call them back, and we kind of try to counsel them and then guide them. If we feel no, the matter is serious, then we ask them to approach the police, and then we try to. So we've helped many people with this. In fact, there were some people. I remember a case wherein somebody called at night and he says, I am on this particular terrace in Qatar and I'm going to jump off the building, because he was facing a cyber harassment. He was a suicidal case. So I know for 1 hour at 2 o'clock at night, my wife Nirali was talking to him, and ultimately she saved his life. So saving lives is because the cyber really can take you anywhere.
Right, sir. Even last year, I was a part of Gurgaon Police cybersecurity internship, and you were the
Ah,
guest
okay.
speaker this year, right? So
Yes.
last year, it was the first time when I actually attended Nirali ma'am's session, and I came to know that there is something that that is called as cyber psychology, because cyber is something that is actually affecting our mindset. It is changing our mindset. It is changing the way we think, the culture we live in. So, and the PPT that she shared with us, she displayed, and the kind of stuff she told us, that was like really impressive. And I came to know after that very session only that it is very much needful for common people like me and you and everyone, that
Everyone.
we have to take care of our cyber psychology also. Because if
Absolutely.
there is a girl, and if I am putting her messages that are very disturbing and affecting for her, it may lead to her suicide. But I'm actually not a person
Absolutely.
of such type, sir. So,
Absolutely. No, that's a very good thing. That's a very noble thought.
all right, so sir, I have also read that it's been more than 2 decades that you have been a cybercrime investigator. There are several kind of cyber crimes that are on the rise after the COVID is been settling down. So, what are those? If I talk about some unheard cyber crimes against women and children, particularly like revenge pornography, sextortion. So, how do you see such type of cyber crimes? What are the modus operandi, and how can women and children can stay safe from it? And if even someone has fell victim to such kind of crimes, how can they safeguard themselves?
So when it comes to women and children, of course, I think this is something that you should definitely speak to Nirali about it. You should have a podcast with her also, and she would talk about it. But in short, when we talk about women, I think the most worrying thing right now is revenge pornography. The younger generation, I'm not from your generation, and there's also a generation which is even younger to you. Okay, so your generation and the younger generation, they really believe in exchanging of nudes. They believe in cyber sex. So cyber sex is where both of you are nudes, and you're you know uh, having pleasure on the screens, looking at each other, and so that's what is cyber sex. So here what is happening is, when you're exchanging your nudes, you're like trusting. You remember what I told you: trust, anonymity, and privacy are a myth. I already told you about anonymity, what MTV Troll Police was. I told you about privacy, nothing like that. I gave you example of LinkedIn. But now look at the trust part of it. So here is a girl who trusts the boyfriend, or here is a boyfriend who trusts the girl, and they exchange a lot of nudes and videos, images, and sexting, or such kind of sexual chats. And one day things don't, like, work out, so you just separate. And what I also see is that relationship has also become very disposable nowadays. Like
Correct, sir.
today you are there, and tomorrow maybe okay, you just move on with the second, and you just keep moving on. So well, that's your very personal choice. But because this is so temporary, I mean, most of the relationships that we are seeing, it's if it's so temporary, then why are you risking having all the most sensitive data of yours? You're giving it to somebody because at that point of time you're trusting at that moment. Okay. Later on, what? What from like 6 months down the line, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, God knows when. So, what is happening over there when you do that? This particular person, one of them, whoever has felt very bad that, okay, he broke up with me or she broke up with me, and those guys go and put it up online. They leak it out. And then the cases that I have, most of these victims are in the age group of, let's say, 18 to 28, I would say. And they also give their addresses of the other persons. Okay, look, this guy stays over here. This is his phone number. He's a gay. So the girl has put it up. So that's revenge pornography. Or the boy has put it up. This is the girl, this is her number, and this is even her address. They've also given the address. So I know in one of my victims' case, there were 2, 3 people who landed at the girl's house. And they said, oh, it was mentioned that this is your photograph and this is your number and this is your address. So we came over here. So, so here the trust doesn't play a role. Let's assume also, even if you have that trust, okay, I share my news on Instagram with, let's say, somebody else, and I have full trust in that particular person. Let's say it's a husband sending the news to the wife, or the wife sending it to the husband. They trust each other. Their marriage is rock solid. They will never separate. But there are 40 other people watching. Who are those 40 other people? Those apps. The apps that have access to your gallery, which includes the videos. So don't forget about that. Then, in one of the cases, in case of a woman, I remember what had happened was she had her private movements recorded. She formatted everything and she exchanged the phone. She got a new phone. After a few days or weeks, she gets the video of her act with her partner. How did this happen? Data recovery. Using data recovery, even if you have formatted the phone, we are able to recover the data. Now she sold it to a shop person now sold it to somebody else. Somebody else now was an expert in recovering the data. Or he must have used some software and he could have recovered the data and he got all the details. Not just the video, maybe he got all our numbers or chats or whatever it is. So the thing is, this particular thing is the least trustworthy. I mean, you may trust the temporary partner also, but this is somebody you cannot trust. So we got to be very, very mindful. So this is as far as women is concerned. I was telling you about crimes about women. Now there are many more crimes, but we don't have that kind of time that we can talk so much. So I was telling you about the most trending crime, cybercrime with the women. Now you also asked me about the child. Right now with the child, what is happening is online grooming. So there are these people who go and try to ping girls as young as like 12 years, 10 years, 15 years. They will compliment them, they will try to become good friends with them, and then they will groom them. Grooming is a slow process. You win the trust of the other person. That other person kind of like becomes the messiah for you. He becomes your protector, your your angel. Like, okay, this is the man to go to, or this is the lady to go to. And that particular person now starts asking you, because you have so much of faith in that person says, remove all your clothes, and you do that. Go in the shower, you go over there. Rub yourself, you do that. And he captures all this. So this is something that's happening with the children, and so they need to be extremely, extremely careful that a stranger is a stranger. You will say, okay, what about the stranger? Someday will become a friend. But, but that risk is not worth it of that stranger becoming your friend. So I have like many examples where I know where these children trusted the stranger, and like in one case, I know within 10 minutes, the young girl shared the pictures of her private parts with the particular person. So it goes till, sometimes the children also uh, get into the flow of it. And that's the reason the parents need to be very, very understanding with their kids. You really need to give a lot of time and attention, which is anyway very rare nowadays because the parents themselves are so much either on the phone or on the laptop or on the third on the Netflix or Amazon Prime. So we all are like separated but staying in one family.
This is what Rakshit sir was talking about, that there is a very strict need of cyber culture to be inculcated in our society.
Absolutely. He's brilliant. There are no two doubts about it. He's somebody with so many years of experience. He's been seeing what all is happening. So he knows that. He's very right in saying we need a cyber culture.
Mm. So talking to you, it was very beautiful, sir, and I have got a very deep insight on how cybercrime investigations work actually. What are the kind of crimes that are on the rise? One thing that I would like to ask you to share, if you can share it, you had a recent visit to Indian Naval Academy. How was your
Ah.
experience there, sir?
It was pretty good. Like whenever you go and give these awareness talks, one thing that you realize is that the world doesn't know much about it. Although we are so much engrossed in cyber crimes and we are so much involved in cyber security, the world still doesn't know much about it. So the speaking to 1,000 plus people, especially those cadets, it was great. It was a great experience telling them, and I restricted myself talking to them about cases that happened with the people of Navy. Forget other defense forces, specifically to to Navy related. What all crimes were happening is something that I spoke to them, and what are the emerging trends, how you can be like kind of honey trap, how you could kind of be like fooled, you could be social engineered to give either the money or the secrets of defense. In what new ways are these hackers coming is something that I showed it to them. So there's a lot that artificial intelligence, I mean, with artificial intelligence right now also, like I have this video of yours, both the videos are there. My video you can find on YouTube, like you will get 300 of those videos because I come so often on news channels and all. But your video is like not everywhere. So let's say if I now get your video, let's say with Rakshit, you had a talk with Rakshit and that video, I just remove you. I can actually replace the words that you're saying, not the face, the words that you're saying. So it will be your voice, your face, but the words will be mine. So deep fakes, that is what is deep fakes all about. Now, deep fakes can take you till that level. So we spoke about deep fakes also. So technology is really going quite fast. But the thing is, the hackers are adopting it faster than we people.
We are not only awareing people, what we are talking about, hackers are also listening. So they are already prepared in their ecosystem that how can we fight these ways. All right, sir. So it was lovely talking to you, sir, and you really do have an immense knowledge on the domain. And I would like to, have another session with you very soon.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting me have you on the show, sir. And I really feel blessed at this point of time. And it was really lovely talking to you, sir. You have a very good day.
Same here. Same here. And I wish you good luck with your these podcasts. And I hope more and more people listen to your podcast. They watch these videos because this is only going to help them become better. I always tell people, I would like to tell your audience, remember this: trust, anonymity, and privacy are myths on the internet. And lastly, remember that Netflix ka Jamtara. You remember? आप Netflix पे जामतारा है, उसका टैगलाइन याद रखना, सबका नंबर आएगा, मेरा भी, इसका भी और आपका भी. All you can do is minimize the impact. but number तो पक्का आएगा.